First Point is Thomson Reuters' online research hub for Australian case law. It's one of over 300 legal and tax products available on our Westlaw AU research platform. First Point as a product contains citator information and digest information for Australian cases. So by citator information, we mean things like cases considered by the case, other cases that cite that case, legislation considered, and words and phrases. And by the digest information, we mean point of law summaries or digests that are written to the Australian Digest Classification Scheme. First Point is also a gateway into the other products that are available on Westlaw AU, particularly our Law Report series and Unreported Judgments.
So we're from the Cases team and we create the content for First Point. We treat about 300 to 350 cases a week, and we receive cases from all the different jurisdictions of Australia. We receive cases from all the different courts and tribunals. So that means from any 1 minute we can be treating a case from the High Court, and the next minute we can treat a case from the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. We get all different varieties of cases, and every single case has to be read, and each case gets treated differently according to the importance of the case, the complexity of the case, and which court the case is from.
First Point contains a number of value-added features that the free websites cannot offer. One of those features, and one that we're particularly proud of here in the Cases team, is that all of the Australian cases are classified into the Australian Digest Classification Scheme. The Australian Digest Classification Scheme contains 79 digest titles or areas of legal practice. These include big titles like criminal law, trade and commerce, taxes and duties, or administrative law, and also quite a number of smaller titles, including aviation, shipping and navigation, sale of goods, or even time, weights and measures or meetings. First Point researchers can browse for cases using the Australian Digest Classification Scheme. So you can start off with your very general area of law, drill down to a particular area to find cases that help you solve your legal problem. First Point is the only Australian legal research tool that contains this easy, browsable classification scheme for Australian case law. What the classification scheme also means is, having found a case on a particular area of law, such as from using our advanced search capabilities, you're only one click away from cases that also look at that area of law.
The other biggest difference between First Point and the free sites that are out there is the way that we target information and present it to researchers. So with all the cases that are cited within a judgment, we specifically highlight the cases that have legal significance within that case. So for example, a judge can cite a lot of cases within a judgment, parties have a lot of cases that they put forward in their submissions, but not all of those cases are legally significant. So we highlight those cases and we assign to them specific relevance such as applied, considered, distinguished, and so on. And in that way, it's very, very helpful for a researcher to have those cases highlighted in that way, rather than just presented in a list. I think one of the main reasons that makes First Point particularly dependable is the fact that the team itself is a great asset. And the reason why we are an asset is, well, first of all, we're a Sydney-based team. There's 22 of us, and we're all legally qualified. And on top of that, we all have very extensive legal practice in different areas. A lot of us have been solicitors. Some of us have worked in government law agencies. Some of us have been academics, legal academics. So we all have extensive practice in different legal areas. And this means that we've all got one first-hand experience in the different requirements of legal research. That means that we take our different areas of expertise to the work that we do. And this really helps in terms of our understanding of the needs of researchers, and it also really helps in terms of our knowledge that we take to the classification scheme and in the way that we digest cases and treat cases.
Another reason for trusting First Point is that all of the cases are classified into the highly respected and well-renowned Australian Digest Classification Scheme. The Australian Digest has been in the market for 80 years and contains cases going right back to 1825. Many courts throughout the country use the Australian Digest classification scheme when writing their own catchwords on the cover sheets of their judgments. The Australian Digest classification scheme is also something that's constantly evolving. So each year, each of the titles is looked at to determine whether any new classification points are required to cover new areas of law. This is done through the Australian Digest supplements process, but that feeds into First Point as well. Also, periodically, the titles are given a wholesale reissue, which is where all of the content in the title is re-looked at to redesign a new classification scheme that best covers and caters for the current state of the law. First Point also contains flags alongside each of the cases that we have records for, so you can immediately tell whether it's good law or whether it requires some cautionary treatment, or indeed whether the case has been overruled. So if you see a big red flag next to the case or a yellow flag next to the case, you know that the case is not good law or might not be good law anymore. In addition to the flagship First Point product, Thomson Reuters subscribers also have access to unreported judgments, as well as the largest library of authorised reports in the country. We also have access to a number of specialised law report series, and each of these products can be accessed through the hub that is First Point. So First Point contains links to the unreported and reported versions of these cases that we have available online. In terms of the authorised reports, I mentioned that we have the largest collection in the country. We're the only place where you can get the Commonwealth law reports online, and this includes the authorised PDFs of those cases, so you can print it out and hand it up in court. If you're going to rely on such cases in court, it's a good idea to have those authorised versions because they're the most respected and have been approved by the courts. The Commonwealth law reports are just one of the authorised series that we have available. We also have the federal court reports, as well as a number of the state report series and the territory authorised report series, including from New South Wales, South Australia, Western Australia, Tasmania, the Northern Territory, and the ACT. We have a number of specialised law report series as well that can be accessed through the First Point Hub in one easy click, including the Australian criminal reports, the industrial reports, and the local government and environment reports of Australia.
First Point gives you quality you can depend upon and content that you can trust.
It really does allow you to conduct your legal research more efficiently, more effectively, and save you time and money by giving you reliable and relevant results quickly.